I got from this, the long and short of it, if you don't get anything else from this video, is EPSM, just go in with the right attitude. I personally really enjoyed it. It's literally what you do in consulting. It's what you'd expect at the workplace, but be disciplined enough to work through it or you'll find yourself taking too long. And also don't worry too much about making things perfect. If you need to upload a spreadsheet with your goals, by the way, part of the unit is you have to set goals. I need to actually refer back to some of the stuff I did because I need it at my workplace right now to reflect on what my plan is, my development plan is. All this forms part of the module. Don't think too much about it. Just be very authentic, and also just be perseverant. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button, but if you're a returning subscriber, thanks for supporting your girl. Today's video is a much needed video, especially given that my ACCA students, hey, you've probably just gotten your results if you sat for the September session, and I just thought, you know what, let me make sure my next video is related to ACCA, and I just wanted to cover what next after exams. So for those of you who sat your final exams, you have passed them, huge congrats to you. If you're close to the end, if you didn't get the result that you wanted and you probably have to resit, don't worry, you're not the only one. I am ACCA chartered, but I can tell you it was a long road there, and you know what, don't give up. This video is just in case you're anticipating, you just want to know what to expect after exams. There's a whole lot of things that you need to do after exams, and today's video I wanted to cover the ethics and professional skills module. Now, for some of you, you may have already done this before you start for your professional papers. You're more organized than I am. I was fully focused on exams. I sat exams throughout, and only after exams is when I considered the ethics module. Now, I just wanted to cover things that I found quite interesting about the module, just things that you can expect if you haven't done it yet and you waited to finish your exams to do it. So, first thing, it's not an exam. So the ethics and professional skills module, EPSM as they call it, at least you can have a sigh of relief. It's not an exam. And any assessment that they do in that module, if you fail it, you can redo it as much as you want. And you don't need to pay any new fee. It's a one-time fee of around 60 to 70 pounds. I can't remember. I'll probably put it somewhere here if it's not the range I've just given you now. And yeah, I actually really enjoyed doing the EPSM module. I think it's one of those things that really show you that, actually doing ACCA prepares you for the real world, the professional world, because a lot of the things that were covered in that module are very relevant at the workplace. I was doing ACCA while working, so I was already privy to some of the things that were, discussed and shared during that module, but I think it was definitely much needed, especially for those of you who are maybe doing ACCA fresh out of uni. You probably don't have any work experience. This module, it's needed. Now, the fact that it's called a module may throw you off. You may think it's one module. I thought it was until I logged on to the dashboard and so I have 10 units to complete for me to be considered that I have completed the ethics module. Now, the 10 units, 7 of them are actual learning modules and the 3 are for assessment. And as I mentioned, it's not an exam. So those assessments, you can do them as often as you need to get the pass mark. So the final assessment, a lot of the assessments are actually in between the chapters just to check your understanding. So as you're going through the videos, so it's actually a combination of videos, reading. It's a self-paced unit module. So I don't know if it's any different in any of the other countries, but definitely in the UK, when you do pay for the EPSM module, you access it from your My ACCA account, and it's a dashboard. So you click on launch, you basically launch the module, it opens up a virtual self-paced learning zone, virtual learning zone. So you basically study it on your own. You do not have there's no need for any lecturer, no need for classes, not at all. The material is all there. You do the assessments on the dashboard. all on your laptop. Probably is more user-friendly to use a laptop than to do it on your phone, and it's very easy to get to walk through. And of course, for you to progress through, they have locked all the other units. You have to do it sequentially. So you start with unit 1, part 1. For you to do part 2, you have to have finished part 1. So it's very sequential. It's very straightforward in terms of navigating through the pathway, simply because it is like a pathway. And yeah, most of it is more just you sitting back, enjoying, and actually just absorbing the information. So some of the modules, for example, I have them here. Some of the modules are to do with data analytics, introducing you to things that are happening now, like, making you commercially aware. In fact, I think one of the most key skills learned through this module is commercial awareness. Also professional skills like emails. I was using some of this to actually post some advice on Instagram. So a lot of those advice tips that I was giving on my Instagram are from learning this EPSM module. So things like do's and don'ts when it comes to emails, how to lead meetings, virtual meetings, things that you wouldn't expect ACCA to teach you, things you'd expect to learn on the job, but actually they expose you to some of these things, which is why I think it is fundamental that you complete the EPSM module, which is anyway, it's a requirement for you to be qualified and be admitted as an ACCA member. You do need to complete the EPSM module. So yeah, like if I go by the first unit called Ethics and Professionalism, you do go through what are ethics, different schools of thought when it comes to that, making decisions. So something I found very useful is being able to distinguish between your own personal principles and professional, what's required at the workplace, because sometimes there's a conflict. Sometimes according to your own moral compass, things are fine, but at the workplace, you have to consider everyone different things. Also, you have to consider legal and regulatory requirements. So things like that. You get to go through different dilemmas, different scenarios, and you make a judgment. And this forms part of the assessment that you do get. You will be put in scenario-based situations where you have to basically say you have to click on what you think is the best course of action, and the next questions are based on what answer you picked, which I found that, you know what, ACC has really invested in this module because I actually enjoyed. I don't know, you let me know if you've done the ethics module. Let me know, did you enjoy the module? Was it just me who was enjoying? I think I was so used to the very heavy strategic professional exams that when I came to this, it was more like a sigh of relief. One thing though, I will highlight, don't take it for granted. It's actually a lot. It's not hard, it's a lot. So you might think you can just knock EPSM, like you can knock yourself out in one weekend and you have it sorted out. No. I found myself having to do small sections, because one unit has many sections, every single day just to be able to get through, because I really did want to make sure that I've gotten my ACCA qualification by a certain date. So don't take it for granted. You might find yourself doing this unit for a very long time if you do not actually dedicate time, break it down into bite-sized, doable, sustainable type of study sessions, just so that you get through it slowly but surely. So another thing I wanted to highlight, just the last thing, the type of assessments you can expect. A lot of them are the ones which are Q&A, but then also you will be required to maybe create a spreadsheet that you'll upload, that maybe it might not be marked by anybody, but you have to upload to show evidence that you have done it. Also, you might be required to, you will be required to create a PowerPoint, and this one will be peer marked, peer assessed. So it's actually towards the end of the unit that you get to do this, where you have to create a PowerPoint related to a fictitious company, so your case study. So I will not spoil for you on what the case study is about. Probably, I don't think that's even good to do. I don't think that's allowed. But it will be a case study based on a company that's going through a certain situation, and you've been told to create a PowerPoint about it. Once you do create this, it's not a long PowerPoint. It's down to your judgment how many slides you need to create, but you need to upload them, and this is marked by another person who's also doing the module, a peer of yours. And likewise, you need to mark someone else's work. The quicker you do this, the quicker you get your mark, the quicker you're able to, tick this off and move on to the next thing that you need to do. So any tips on that? Honestly, you do get a marking scheme. So you're meant to mark fairly. I had to mark around 3. I think it was 3 or was it 5? 5 other you don't just mark one person's work, you mark quite a few just to get through. They do tell you how many you need to mark, and of course those people are also marking your piece of work, and based on a few people's opinion of how good your work is, then you do get a pass mark. The pass mark for this module, for a lot of the assessments, is 50%. Just like how exams, the pass mark is 50%. All I got from this, the long and short of it, if you don't get anything else from this video, is EPSM, just go in with the right attitude. I personally really enjoyed it. It's literally what you do in consulting. It's what you'd expect at the workplace, but be disciplined enough to work through it, or you'll find yourself taking too long. And also, don't worry too much about making things perfect. If you need to upload a spreadsheet with your goals, by the way, part of the unit is you have to set goals. I need to actually refer back to some of the stuff I did, because I need it at my workplace right now to reflect on what my plan is, my development plan is. All this forms part of the module. Don't think too much about it. Just be very authentic, and also just be perseverant. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you have any queries, put them in the comment section, and I'll do my best to address them in future videos. Definitely look out for my next video where I will cover practical experience requirements. I know a lot of you have sent me comments and also requests for me to cover that. I'll let you know about my experience on it. And yeah, good luck on your ACCA journey. Bye.